I just took a break from video making to take a quick trip to the local farm market store, my favorite one, because it's so close by and there's a lot of good stuff in there. And I got 6 cans of lentils, well, 3 of chickpeas, 3 of lentils, and I really like this brand because there's only somehow 38 milligrams of sodium. And I think when my microbiome wasn't happy the other day, it could have been because it was the first day I ate a can of lentils that had 300 milligrams per serving. So my gut microbiota might not have been happy with that. They might have said nada to that. Nada microbiota. So I got 6 cans of this. I probably only need 3 before I leave because there's some nights I'll be having dinner with other people. But I figured if I get 3 more, I can use those as sort of visual prompts to remind myself what I was eating when I get back, because otherwise I'll have no idea. And I did the same with coconut milk. I got a case from Costco, which I'm not going to use up before I go, but that way when I get back, I won't have to go to Costco to get coconut milk, which is the cheapest place to get it. You can get it on sale for $2 a thing anywhere, but at Costco it's consistently that. So I have that, and then if I leave that out where I can see it, I'll know, oh yeah, I was making rice with lentils, or hopefully when I'm in California I can learn to make some lentil and chickpea dishes that don't require so much rice. So that's hopefully my plan. And then I also got more Indian curry, coconut curry sauce from Costco for the same reason. That way, right when I get back, I don't have to think, oh, I have to go to the grocery store. I'll have rice, I'll have lentils, I'll have sauce, and I can make food. So that will eliminate some of the stress of coming back. And that's sort of being extra prepared, but it entered in my mind to do that. And I got some spinach for tomorrow's smoothie. And then I got some okra because I've never seen okra looking this beautiful before. And I can put it in with my rice and lentils and Indian sauce. I also got some bean sprouts. I'll do bean sprouts today. I don't usually put veggies in, but I went to a different farm market the other day and I got the most beautiful celery ever and this avocado hummus dip and carrots. And I've been dipping that to try and get a little more veggies. These are my sequential healthy steps. And then I got a coconut water because I've been feeling so dehydrated. I haven't had one of these in a long time. But I think the dehydration feeling partly came from losing my bowels when I wasn't feeling that good for a day, but also all of the saunaing. So between having bad guts, probably from that can of lentils that had so much sodium, and also doing saunaing, I was feeling quite dehydrated, and I can feel it in my skin. It's kind of ouchy and dry. So I'm gonna drink that. And now I'm on my way back home and I have a million things to do. And to go with that, I didn't take any tyrosine today or really look at the blue light because of have so much to do, and that drives me, and I don't need extra dopamine. Now I'm having some dinner. I made brown rice and chickpeas and Indian sauce and bean sprouts. And I'm just realizing I forgot the goat cheese. I have a little bit left to use up. So maybe I'll put that in my next dose because I have more in the pot. And I'm going to take some sunflower lecithin because that's one of the things that Peter Smith of Balancing Brain Chemistry says that one can take to be a bit more calm. It's an anti-manic remedy. And when I was unpacking some of my stuff, I found my stash of old vitamins that I had before I left for California. And I found this bonus bit of sunflower lecithin, which isn't expired. And here's the other bottle I already had. So I'm going to take some of these because I'm finding that I'm feeling like I'm very functional and able to do a lot, and I think getting a lot done will create enough dopamine for me. So I haven't taken the tyrosine the last 2 days. I might have taken rhodiola today and polygala. I didn't really use the blue light. Yesterday I took extra zinc. I forgot about the sunflower lecithin, but I took the zinc. I took an extra dose of taurine and glycine, and I took melatonin, and can't remember what else, but I am learning to vary these things. That's why it's maybe not a good idea to do the whole weekly supply, but I do know what most of them look like now, and so I could get away with doing that and just pick the ones out that I don't want to take and add ones that I do. But I wouldn't suggest that at first because some of them look the same and then you waste a whole day's worth of stuff, or you could keep it for later when you are on everything again. And I'll finish my dinner and then I'll talk a little bit more. So I'm not sure what I want to talk about now. After my last video, I felt like I still want to talk about a lot more. But I don't know how much more there is. One thing I did want to say is that I've noticed I've been doing this weird gesture lately the last few days. I've been going, and at first I didn't think anything of it. And then after I did it a couple more times, and it's spread out, it's not every 5 minutes, it's more like every hour or so, it arose in my mind that maybe it's some kind of mild tardive dyskinesia, which can happen with some kinds of psych meds. I think particularly antipsychotics, and I am taking 50 milligrams of quetiapine a night, which isn't very much. But when that hit me, that maybe it's a little bit of tardive dyskinesia, I felt a little bit freaked out because I don't know how it starts, if it starts with mild gestures, because a lot of times it's associated with uncontrollable movements of the mouth. And I really don't know why I'm doing that. So I'm wondering if it has anything to do with it. And I don't know if tardive dyskinesia happens when first taking a med or after taking it for months or years, or it's a bad reaction and then it never goes away, because usually it doesn't go away. So if it's something that builds slowly over time and then is worse and worse and then won't ever stop, I need to be careful, because I don't want to have these involuntary movements of the mouth. And maybe it's not that. Maybe it's from being dehydrated, and then there's that gesture to sort of moisten the lips or something. I don't know, but I'm going to be aware of that because I've never been on antipsychotics for this long, even at this small a dose. So I will be careful. And I found a study abstract about the blue blocker glasses related to bipolar disorder. And I have these ones by Uvex. I got them on Amazon Prime. And I've been trying to wear them more to combine this with the total darkness therapy. And I finished setting up my darkness therapy blind. And tonight, when I get into bed, I will see if it blocks out all of the light. I highly doubt it will. Light is very sneaky. It's much like water. It's hard to keep it out. If there's a crack, it will shine through. And so, yeah, I'll figure that out. But after making this video, I'll take off my bit of mascara and wear these. And the study is titled Dark Therapy for Bipolar Disorder Using Amber Tenses for Blue Light Blockage. I think amber tenses or glasses, I don't know, but it says in the abstract, and it's in the journal Medical Hypotheses, February 2008. I can't see the authors here. Anyway, it says dark therapy, in which complete darkness is used as a mood stabilizer in bipolar disorder, roughly the converse of light therapy for depression, or the converse, has support in several preliminary studies. Although data are limited, darkness itself appears to organize and stabilize circadian rhythms, yet ensuring complete darkness from 6 p.m. to 8 a.m., that's 14 hours, the following morning, as used in several studies thus far, is highly impractical and not accepted by patients. However, recent data on the physiology of human circadian rhythms suggests that virtual darkness may be achievable by blocking blue wavelengths of light. A recently discovered retinal photoreceptor whose fibers connect only to the biological clock region of the hypothalamus has been shown to respond only to a narrow band of wavelengths around 450 nanometers. Amber-tinted safety glasses, which is what these are, which block transmissions of these wavelengths, have already been shown to preserve normal nocturnal melatonin levels in a light environment which otherwise completely suppresses melatonin production. Therefore, it may be possible to influence human circadian rhythms by using these lenses at night to blunt the impact of electrical light, particularly the blue light of ubiquitous television screens, by creating a virtual darkness. One way to investigate this would be to provide the lenses to patients with severe sleep disturbance of probable circadian origin. A preliminary case series to investigate this would be to provide the lenses to patients with severe sleep disturbance. Oh, I already read that. A preliminary case series herein demonstrates that some patients with bipolar disorder experience reduced sleep onset latency with this approach, meaning they can go to sleep faster, suggesting a circadian effect. If amber lenses can effectively simulate darkness, a broad range of conditions might respond to this inexpensive therapeutic tool. So, it's cool to find a study that talks about that. And the other things I want to talk about, I got to use my neti pot for the first time because it was all packed up and I unpacked it, so my nasal passages feel a bit better. And yeah, so I will read what I wrote before I hit the wall the other day. I was writing quite a few insights, and this will be a little clunky because I haven't read these types of things for a long time. But part of the point of this being is that I was down and out for months, and I could barely take care of myself. I wasn't thinking of anything interesting, or there were no insights coming to me. It was hard enough just to brush my teeth or shower. And now it's totally different. So, it's so strange how executive functioning can go down to next to nothing. And then it comes back. And what's that all about? I don't know. But this is what I wrote. I was writing about this forum that I created with my brain twin, and it's a little description. And it says, this forum is devoted to harvesting, harnessing. Let me try that again because I don't want to edit this. A forum devoted to harvesting, harnessing, and grounding the human potential that comes out of extreme states of consciousness that are currently labeled as mental illnesses, to provide a platform and scaffolding to empower, change, and create the conversation that happens between peers regarding these experiences, in hopes that this dialogue will ripple outward to affect the way we are approached, received, and treated upon falling out of the high states of non-self that gifted us access to this energy and information, in hopes that they will assist us to recollect the necessary parts of the functioning ego in order to bring back the insights and visions we have collected to manifest our individual and collective dreams and creations in actuality for the betterment of human and Gaia, which are two sides of the same essence. That's a really long sentence. So I wrote that. And it's pretty much bipolar craziness. It's something that someone in the height of mania would think up. And it just sort of came to me. I just wrote it. I didn't think about it at all. And I'm not saying, oh, that's good or anything. And I went on to say, perhaps the dialogue will change the field such that we are swarm sufficient in creating this capacitance within the neighborhood of people to address extreme self-care and wellness, particular to this tribe/swarm of beings, creativity, non-rigid spirituality, and finding, creating meaning through dialogue and wondering. Also inviting our neighbors, people who get it without having a label, to join in, humbly. Because it's hard to stay humble when one connects to that energy. And then I went on to write other stuff that morning, and then that was the night that I kind of hit the wall, which is how I like to word coming back, returning to, I don't know what kind of consciousness, regular consciousness. And it's a bit of a hangover, and it's a bit of a detox process. Just like how alcohol wears off, mania wears off too. And so I tapped into it temporarily. And so I'll talk about a few of these insights or whatever the hell, because I haven't for a really long time. And nothing's really occurred to me anyway, but I was thinking about how, before I've talked about how we're often warped by how others see us, or how they're looking at us, the light from their eyes. And it occurred to me that it's sort of similar to how I've gotten okay at singing certain songs with myself alone in my car. And I can belt them out and sound okay. Of course, the music is playing, which makes me sound a little better than if it wasn't. But if I were to stand in front of 10 people and try to do the same thing, I wouldn't be able to sing as well. So mania, when one is in it and not being warped and sort of in one's own world, wandering around as one's best self, is like being able to sing that song really well alone in one's car. And then as soon as others come in and are sort of looking, just that process of being observed by others makes us perform differently, makes us act differently, makes us sound differently. Some people might be really confident talking to their best friend one-on-one, but then you put them in front of a group and they can't say anything or they're afraid. So it's the same with this energy of so-called mania. So can we learn to be this best self in front of others? Because we often revert back to being who they think we are, which is, other people might think that I can't sing that song. So then when I try to sing in front of them, I can't. So yeah, I don't know what that even really means, but and then okay, this is another one I wrote, because another thing I ponder about is what is the function of this change in consciousness for people who connect with this other algorithm of operation that isn't yet really grounded. I wrote, we have a different function to show it's possible, to show our whole belief structure can radically change, mutate, to show that belief is outmoded by direct understanding that unfolds as radically apparent in each moment. Belief is brain damage, a recorded program of which gets superimposed on a new moment, thus makes it old. We can show that this mutation changes our experience, and thus our reality manifests for us. And that's how our reality manifests for us. With enough people grounded in this, the world will change. Heal the world from the inside out.